Now, will I see the chat here in StreamYard? I guess I would.
Uh, yeah, so you can see the chat there.
I'll have it up
And in
on.
fact, if I put the comments on the stage, you'll be able to see them there, Rob, as they come in.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
But we are live. We haven't got anyone with us at the moment. Oh, we just got somebody join us now. So welcome, everyone, and everyone watching on the replay. So tonight, it's a pleasure to be joined by Rob the Maritimer in tonight's episode of Talking YouTube. And we are going to be talking about Rob's journey, Rob's incredible journey to a full-time YouTube creator. And I've got a list of questions that I'd like to ask Rob. I will be doing an audience Q&A a little bit later on in the live. So please do feel free to post your questions into the comments section. And as always, if you could please prefix them with 3 capital Qs, just so I can easily pick them out, especially as I'll probably be backtracking a little bit later. So Rob, thank you so much for joining me. It's a pleasure to have you here tonight.
Thank you, Jay. Looking forward to this. It's fun. It's not too late for me. A lot later for you. I think we're 4 hours difference. Is it 8 o'clock there for you?
Yeah, so it's 8 p.m. here. I
Yep.
usually do 9 p.m., so it's a little earlier than usual, actually. But I'm
Okay.
conscious of my American viewers, so it's absolutely fine for me. And if anything, it's a great way to spend a Friday night.
There you go. Yeah. No, that's fine. 4 o'clock here, and as I said earlier, you're keeping me from going out and having to shovel a bunch of rocks, and I don't want to have to do that. So this is great.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, but obviously, I understand you've also got a video that you're working on today, which is a little bit behind schedule. So apologies if I'm keeping you from that as well.
No, that's all right. It's too late for that. I haven't told people in the community yet, but that's going to be Monday now.
Okay, fine. Well, there's a
Not
lot of
your
people
fault.
here tonight, I'm sure, that will hear that, and I'm sure they'll forgive you, Rob. It's absolutely fine. So, I usually start my interviews with one simple question, and I ask people why they started their YouTube channels. But for you, I know that you started and then you stopped before finally coming back to YouTube. So, what was the reason that you stopped initially, and then what made you decide to give it another go?
Yeah. Well, I actually stopped a couple times. Uh, when
Okay.
I first started, it was January, like the start of the year in 2021, I think. Um, yeah, 2021, and I made I had been doing a lot of studying leading up to that point on how to do this. Like I didn't know anything about cameras or mics or anything like that. And I just knew that I wanted to do YouTube. I wanted to move from being a freelancer, editing videos for other people and making tutorial videos for companies. I wanted to move from doing that to actually teaching people how to do that. I saw that as a better way forward as I get older. um, so I started it that January. I made 9 videos that first month, and I got, I think, 3 subscribers and I don't know, 50, 70 views or something like that total for the whole month.
Wow.
And I just thought, you know what, maybe I'm not cut out for this. So I gave it up. And it was, I think, 8 months later before I made my next video. And I kind of did the same thing, made a few videos. I was re-energized when I looked and noticed, oh, my 3 subscribers are now 250. How did that happen without me making videos? Um, but the watch hours weren't there, and made some more videos, took another big break, right? I was just getting discouraged. I wasn't seeing the results as quickly as I was expecting them based on the videos I was watching on how to grow a YouTube channel at the time.
Yeah, there's a lot of videos out there that will make it seem like it's an easy thing to do, and as we both know, it isn't. And as a lot of our viewers will also know, it's definitely not easy. But I just find it fascinating that you just kept coming back to YouTube, and then you eventually got to the stage where you are now. It's definitely a success story, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, I guess I kept coming back to it because I mean, I was working in my home office anyways. I was working through Fiverr. Actually, I was doing a bunch of small jobs as a freelancer, and I'm at my computer all the time. So YouTube is something I was a consumer of for quite a while, watching
Mm.
videos, learning how to do things. And yeah, just when I had some free time from the freelancing work, I would do some more studying on YouTube, watch some more, Nick Nimmin videos. What camera should I have? And end up spending too much money on stuff that a lot of stuff I don't even use now.
Yeah,
But,
I bet. And
yeah, in terms of, like, how I got to where I am now, that more came later, after I decided to like, once I saw the evidence that, okay, maybe this can work, I see that if I just stay consistent and keep making videos, there's some traction here. I can grow this. But yeah, and then eventually it did. Yeah, I one video made a huge difference for me. It's not the video that got me monetized. It got monetized first, just doing the grind.
mhm,
But then when I finally decided to talk to the camera, and stop manufacturing my videos with teleprompters and scripts and stuff, that's when I realized, oh, maybe people just want to hear from a real person, and that is what really sparked my channel.
yeah, and that's what your channel is all about, really, isn't it? It's about that authentic connection with the viewer and just being yourself. It's a really difficult thing to do, and I am still in the stage where, and it's working for me, that I script my videos, I plan my videos very heavily. I do a lot of research into the content I'm going to make, and that's working for me. But it is, as you've said in your videos, it is an awful lot of work. You
Yeah.
know, the editing takes many hours.
Yeah.
The scripting takes even longer sometimes, and you know, if I'm honest with you, I did initially, as many people were, I was inspired by you to start
Oh yeah.
this YouTube niche, and I started off trying to do videos in your style. And to a lot of people, the videos you make seem easy, but I know, having done them or having tried to do them, that it's definitely not.
No, they're not. They're not. Well, it's funny. Yeah, I just made a video here in my chair back there. First one I've done there in probably 2 months, but that's kind of where it started with me, just talking to the camera. Lately, I had been doing more outdoor walk and talk videos,
Yeah,
but yeah, it just kind of brought me back to it's not easy. Like it's not like just sitting down, looking at the camera, and trying to have a heart to heart when it's heart to lens is
yeah,
just not natural. But when I get into editing it, it's like, you know what, this actually kind of flows all right if I edit it. Cut out the mistakes, leave some in, but cut a lot out. Uh, yeah, I forget what your question was. I'm just talking.
yeah. No, that's okay. I think that's the whole point of the conversation. It's very much in the style of your videos. The lives for me are a chance to, I was going to say, let my hair down, but obviously that's not going to work.
Yeah, I've let
Um,
my hair down today, but
yeah, yeah, but it's a chance to let the proverbial hair down and
yeah,
just basically have a conversation with someone, a fellow YouTuber, and in this case, a very successful fellow YouTuber, and not have to worry so much like I do with my main videos, where I, like
yeah,
I said, spend a lot of time scripting and planning them. So it's actually really refreshing to wander off topic and not have to be so strict. So yeah,
yeah.
I kind of forget what the question was as well. But did you ever think that after coming back to YouTube, after walking away from it a couple of times, that you would ever have such a successful channel, Rob?
I guess I was hopeful. I mean, that was always what I wanted to do. I wanted a successful channel, and that meant get a lot of subscribers, make some money, and perhaps make enough money to earn a full time income.
Mm,
Um, but YouTube's funny. Like it's not like if you do this, then this will happen, right? There's a lot of unknowns that you kind of learn as you go. And even if you do everything right, sometimes videos just don't do well.
yeah,
So you know, I don't believe there are gurus out there that have all the answers. And I think everybody just has to, myself included, all of us just have to kind of find our own way and try to learn as we go. And um, yeah, I feel like the best way to do that, the easiest way to do that is to just be ourselves. As you probably know, when you started, you alluded to the fact that you started trying to be like somebody else.
yeah.
So did I, and that's super hard. It's super hard.
Impossible.
Yeah, impossible. And you look at that back. I look at my early videos back, and it's like, Rob, what were you trying to do? Like, it's obvious I'm uncomfortable. But yeah, I guess I was pleasantly surprised when I discovered that just being myself and not worrying about saying every sentence perfectly, I was pleasantly surprised that that was received well. Um, and it makes sense too, because if you think about it, if you can just be yourself, every time you put something up on YouTube, you're going to have people who like it and people who don't, right?
Correct.
And no matter how likable you are, or how good your information is, some people just won't like it. And
Yeah.
so, whatever you put up there, naturally, you're going to be weeding out all of the people who don't like you because they don't like you. They won't be back. Great. But you'll also attract people who do. Before you know it, you're months down the road and you have a whole bunch of people who do like you exactly the way you are, exactly the way you've been showing up. So,
And that's why being yourself is so important, right? Because if
I
you
think so.
you just be yourself, you haven't got to try and pretend. The people that don't like you won't stick around, and that's fine. Let them go. And the
Yeah.
people that do like you will form a community, and that's what's happened for you. That's what's starting to happen for me, which I'm obviously very grateful for. But where I have been experimenting as a new channel,
Yeah.
I've found that a lot of my videos, the style that I make the videos changes slightly or quite drastically. And I often wonder if that's going to hurt my channel long term. If I keep flicking between the different styles of video, I guess to a certain extent it would. But then again, it's part of the creative process is being free to experiment and try different things, right? You don't want to stick to doing exactly the same thing every single time, or I don't, because I'd get bored of it.
You could get bored of it, and I also think if you try to stick with the same methodology, the same style of videos every time, then you will never know if another type of video will work even better for you. I think that's really the only way to figure out your path is to try different things. Some will work, some won't. Um, I'm a big believer in, for example, and I don't even know if you were referring to thumbnails, but I'll just use that as an example. I'm a big believer in just kind of leaving the old thumbnails alone. Like 2 years ago, if you look at all my thumbnails and videos from 2 years ago, they had a certain look, and that's okay. Like there's no consistency between my old how-to videos and what I'm doing now. But again, that's okay. People can look at my channel, they can go back and they can see, oh, he's kind of progressed from there to here. Um,
Yeah,
cool. Right? So I think that's fine. And we learn. All my videos where I was talking to a teleprompter are still there. Um, and I think it's good. It's part of the growth process.
I think that's a really brave thing to do, actually, because I've personally struggled a little bit with perfectionism, and
Yeah.
even though my videos aren't perfect now, I will go back and I will change the thumbnails to make them all unified. And I will unlist videos that I made in the beginning that I now look at and cringe.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people do that as well. I'd really love to have the courage just to leave them all up, and maybe I should, because it is a bit of a creative journey, isn't it? And when you do find a channel that's doing well, it's often quite nice to go back and see that actually they didn't start off that way. They had to learn to be successful.
Yeah.
And I think what you've just said has really made me second guess my own decisions about taking my old videos down or unlisting them, you know?
And that's okay. That's okay. I second guess myself all the time. That's all. It's just all part of it. The only videos I have unlisted are ones that no longer fit what I say now in my current videos. How do I say that? Um, like I still have all my old how to edit videos with Camtasia videos. I still have I left all those there, but there were a few like shorts, for instance. Actually, not long form, but mostly shorts. There were some shorts that I've done that were kind of more of a fun thing, but really had nothing to do with like I just don't feel like my current audience would be interested in them. So I've gotten rid of those, but I've left all the shorts up there that are snippets of me from my longer form videos, right? So yeah, I don't. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't spend a lot of time going backwards and kind of fiddling with what I've done in the past.
Yeah, just keep your eyes firmly on the future and move forward. I think that's a
Try
really
to.
great lesson, actually, and that's probably I'm going to take that from this conversation. And it'll save me a lot of time and worry going back and forth over content that I've already created. So Rob, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
As we're talking about video styles and the having the thought, trying something new and not being afraid to branch out into unknown territory, if you like.
Yeah.
I know that that's something that you did. You tried something completely different, and you did something with minimal editing, and that was a breakout video for you. It's
Mm.
had, I think, pushing, if not over 500,000 views now, which are continuing to rise. What was that a difficult video to make, Rob?
Um, yes and no. I remember when I made it. It was a Thursday evening, early July of 2024, and I made it after supper, after dinner, and I posted it the next morning. Was it hard to make? Yeah, it was. I probably recorded for something like 45 minutes, but the video was only 25 minutes. So the first 20 minutes or so was just garbage. Well, I mean, I made bloopers out of a lot of it, but it was just me trying to get going and just getting so frustrated with myself. And it's funny, somebody even mentioned today in a comment that, your bloopers today aren't as good as they were uh, when you first added bloopers, because way back then it was very obvious how frustrated you were with the process. Whereas now I've learned that, oh, I can just say it again, right? So I get that. That's me, I guess, progressing. But yeah, it didn't take long to make that video. It was that evening, and then I edited it. I probably edited for 2 hours, half of which was the bloopers at the end. The first hour was just, I think there were 2 or 3 cuts. That's all I had to do. Um, and yeah, it was just I was just talking. I don't know, and I shouldn't say, like, this isn't necessarily the path forward for everybody. Like, everybody's different. For me, I tried to picture talking to a friend, even though I was looking at a camera, and I just tried to, answer a question that they asked me, is what I have in my head. But maybe that doesn't work for everybody. You have to kind of find what works for you. And that was me. It was 3.5 years of wanting to be able to do that before I actually did it. So there were no other videos where I recorded myself that way and just didn't post. That was actually the first one that I ever did. So and the fact that that did so well, that I think that's kind of telling.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just interested to know how it felt, and what that looked like for you after you uploaded that video. Was it almost a very steady increase in volume of interaction that you got from your viewers? When did you sit there and realize, whoa, this video's getting tens of thousands of views? Like, what's going on?
It was a day later. So Friday morning, I posted it, and I think at the time, I think I had maybe, what, 3,300 subscribers, I think. But again, a lot of those had been with me for a while. I was just over 4,000 watch hours. I had just been monetized a month before. So that's kind of where my channel was at. And At the time, I guess I was posting 3 videos a week, and my videos were getting maybe a couple hundred views, maybe 100 views a day, maybe 500 in the first week. If it was, or 1,000, if it was doing really well, that would be really well. I'm trying to think back now. But this one, no, it was, I think, 500 views in the first day. And I remember thinking, wow, that's a 1 out of 10. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but then most of the time, when you do that, then it'll level off, right? And so I expected, maybe if it's got 500 views on Friday, maybe 200 or 250 on Saturday, and then it will peter off. But no, what happened the next day? It got 5,000 views, and I'm like, okay, that's never happened before. This is crazy. And I think what it is, if I look back, it's almost like, or if I think back, my subscribers weren't used to that kind of video, and the way I see YouTube getting its signals, when you put out a new video, they test it. They test it on your subscribers and the people who normally watch your videos. Well, the people who normally watch my videos and my subscribers, I guess, were really interested in what I had to say about that, because I was still talking to them. I didn't pivot away from my audience. I just pivoted the topic a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
my audience was over 40. My audience was editing videos for other people. So why not maybe have your own YouTube channel? That's kind of what the video was about. So I just think they were really interested. YouTube noticed that. 5,000 views on the Saturday. And then the Sunday, the next day, I think I got 35,000 views. and then Monday was like another 25,000 views. That's just far exceeded anything I had ever done before, and it was exciting and a little bit terrifying too because I didn't have an offer. I didn't have a lead magnet. I wasn't a coach. I wasn't anything, and I was thinking, oh, if I want to grow this, I need to build something here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not on the same scale as your video. I had a video a month back. I think you watched it. And it ended up with about 17,000 views, and I had 300 subscribers at the time, and I
Yeah,
was just blown away. But I was the same as you, you know. I was suddenly thinking to myself, "Oh, well, I haven't really got anything in place for
yeah,
this." You know, I wasn't prepared.
yeah.
But unlike yours, mine did just come to an end, and now I get maybe 10 views a day on that video. I wonder what it is that. Oh, obviously, it was a great video you made, and I think that the duration of it and the fact that most people probably watched the majority of that video was what really signaled to YouTube that people are putting in some watch hours on this piece of content.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not performing now, like, that's not I mean, I don't think that video it's not even in my top like, it might get half a dozen views a day now. It's not one of my top performing videos. It's been it leveled off eventually. I have other videos that are approaching the same number of views as that one that are still doing well, that will probably pass that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, a lot of people found me through that video. And so then my mindset had to change a little bit. It's like, okay, I had 3,300 subscribers who liked my Camtasia editing videos. Now I had like a month later, I had okay, now I've got 20,000 subscribers, 17,000 of which subscribed to me after hearing me talk about people over 40 in YouTube. Okay, so now I have to make videos keeping them in mind. And now I did get messages from people who like my Camtasia stuff said, "Does this mean we're not going to get any more of those videos anymore?" Right? And so that's also the danger of pivoting your topic too, right? You could alienate some viewers. Something to keep in
Yeah, I
mind.
bet that was really tough, Rob, because I know that you care a lot about your audience. Because that's, you know, the motivation for your channel really is helping people. So
Yeah.
to think of those 3,000 people that have been there with you for a long time, suddenly potentially not being the target audience anymore for the channel, it must have been a real conflict.
It was, and still is sometimes to a lesser degree, but I guess the promise I made to myself and to the viewers who asked me about that is that I will continue to go live once a week every Tuesday, and you have a question about Camtasia, ask it, and I will perhaps even do a demonstration, and I still do that.
That's
Um,
amazing.
right, so yeah, I still there's a little bit to go around for everybody.
Yeah. Do you still get Camtasia questions on your live streams then?
I do, yeah.
That's
Or
so cool.
or if I just get general editing questions, I'll demonstrate something in Camtasia because that can translate across any editing software really. If you want to talk about jump cuts and where you make your cut, well, it might be a different keystroke between Camtasia or Final Cut or Premiere Pro or whatever, but the theory is all the same.
Oh, that's really great. I didn't know that, Rob. That you kind of you maintained, you know, a small part of your content for your original viewers. I think that's really great, and that it goes to show what sort of person you are. When it comes to making content in the style that you make, I know that it's, you know, the videos you make are very inspiring for people because it gives people hope that, as you've said, they can just be themselves and grow a YouTube channel. And that's something that a lot of people aspire to be able to do.
Yeah.
What do you do to make those videos keep people watching? How do you increase retention on a video that has very minimal, you know, traditional retention editing techniques like jump cuts or text on the screen or, you know, noises or lots of B-roll? I know that
Yeah.
you have a moving background sometimes in place of B-roll, but is there anything else that people can do to keep the video interesting in the way that you do, whilst
Yeah.
also making authentic content like that?
I mean, there are a few tricks. I mean, like when I first started making videos in that chair behind me, I was very intentional about the way I set things up. Like I'm sitting on an angle so that if you're looking past me, you can see my cat on the back, right? I didn't want to block her. Like, I thought about these things. You can see a picture hanging on the wall. Well, it's actually hanging on that wall way lower than it probably should be because I wanted it in the shot. Just things like that. I just kind of I spent a lot of time setting that up actually earlier that day when I filmed my first video. Now I know exactly where to put the tripod so to recreate that. Um, so I guess I was intentional about that. And then the walk and talk, like you say, if you're walking and talking, then the background's changing anyway, so you don't have to worry about B-roll as much. Um, and then I don't know, like there's certainly a strong case can be made for using B-roll to keep people's attentions if your story itself is not enough to keep people's attention, right? If you feel like you have to do something else, then you think, okay, what can I do? I can change the background. I can pop on some B-roll. I can a little graphic here and there or whatever. Um, but the thing is, no matter how you do it, eventually the people you get as subscribers will be subscribing because of you and because of the way you make your videos. So I have a lot of people telling me, I don't like all that B-roll. I just like it. I don't even watch your videos. Some people tell me they'll listen to me on a walk or something, or put me on a TV while they're doing house cleaning or something. So I think in the end, however you make your videos, whatever your style is, uh, you will naturally, organically get the right viewers to your videos that will stick around because that's exactly what they like. If that makes sense?
It makes total sense. It's powerful as well. Because I've made a bit of a change in my content recently where I'm focusing more on the value that I'm providing the viewer, and less on trying to make the video appealing. So I'm trying to, how can I say this? I'm trying to stop making content so much and actually just provide value through
Yep.
what I'm teaching.
Uh-huh.
So that means less B-roll, less words on the screen, maybe a lot less or no sound effects, which I've come to learn to really hate, if I'm honest. And the way that I saw it was that I was almost trying to trick people into thinking they were being entertained by my content. Whereas now people are watching because they find the content valuable, and I think that's so much more powerful, um, than any amount of retention editing can
Yeah.
be, and
It's
and
valuable and
you're
it's easier to make.
it's easier to make as well, definitely, and it just feels more authentic, and it took me quite a while to get to that stage,
Yeah. Not
and
just
every
you.
time I watch. Sorry?
Not just you. I was just going to say, me too. It took me a long time to get to that stage because I thought
Yeah,
I had to do all these things, the sound effects. And I've got a few videos where I've done a whole bunch of work on sound effects, a couple hours. And now I'm just, did my viewers gain anything from that? Probably not.
yeah,
So I just don't worry about it that much anymore.
yeah.
Sometimes, but
Yeah, I think it's true, and like my last video really pushed that as well, and it demonstrated a couple of guys that have made channels with millions of followers or subscribers that literally stand there giving presentations on a whiteboard. It's about
yeah,
the value that you give the viewer, isn't it, Rob?
yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So, having said that, there's a despite all of the advice, just to be yourself and let people come to your channel because you are who you are, and let them enjoy your content,
Mm.
and the message you're sharing. A lot of people will still be struggling or feeling stuck. I just want to know if you've got any words of encouragement or any advice to people who might be taking all of the advice on board and trying really hard, but for some reason it still isn't working. And it potentially is a bit of a broad question, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping that you might be able to give some encouragement there for anyone that hasn't found that success yet.
Yeah. Um, yeah, for anybody who is going through that and struggling, I feel you. Like I've been there, and I just kept showing up. Not always. Sometimes I took break. I took an 8-month break and then a 13-month break, just because I didn't. I was kind of giving up, but I came back to it, and I don't know. I guess my best advice is just stick with it, but no, that's not. Take breaks when you have to. Like, if you feel like you're just spinning your wheels and You think you're doing everything right. You're listening to all this advice. And you know what? Listening to advice, even from people like me and people like Jay, you listen to too many of us. And our message is slightly different from person to person. And what works for me and what works for Jay, that might be different, right? What works for people is different.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you just have to take a break and just know that if you keep showing up, it should work out for you. Try new things, right, when you're able. Like, take breaks when you have to. That might, re-energize you. And then when you get back at it, maybe think about what you can be doing differently. And it doesn't have to even necessarily be better. Like, you might not even think it's a better way to do something. It's just something different. Just try something different, and see what happens. I'm a big believer in testing things. So, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm being all that encouraging right now.
You
It
are.
can be frustrating. I mean, the views, subscriber growth. I mean, I go through it. This past month, the increase in my subscribers was down from previous months. But I'm not too worried about it because there are things that we just can't control, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I can't control who watches my videos. Neither
Correct.
can anybody, right? People are gonna watch it or they're not. And all we can do is make more videos and try to learn from the previous videos we made and try to get better at making videos. And when I say get better at making videos, I don't mean get better at editing and get better at sound effects. I just mean get better at delivering whatever message you want to deliver to your viewers, something that they want to hear and watch.
And it's going to
Um,
take time, isn't it, to get to the stage where you even know what that is?
It can, sure, it can. Like you mentioned, I didn't know I'd be making how to grow on YouTube videos 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my initial plan was, yeah, I'd love to get to that place because I wanna grow on YouTube, but I don't feel like I can talk about growing on YouTube until I've grown on YouTube, right?
Yep.
So there's
I know that
that.
feeling.
Yeah, yeah. So, but what you can do is you can help people who are a little bit behind you, right?
Always. Yeah.
So, yeah, all and that's and I try to be very clear and tell people that I don't consider myself a guru. I'm not an expert. I don't know everything there is to know about YouTube. There are people I watch who are above me that I learn from, people who are on my level and below me that I learn from. But I know I have knowledge that can help people who are just starting. So that's what I try to focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's always somebody that can learn from everybody. I mean, I've learned things from channels with 50 subscribers because ultimately the number on the channel isn't really a representation of that person's value. You know, we're all just human beings. Whether or not that you've been on YouTube 5 years, he's been on there for 5 weeks, we can all learn something from each other. So that's an important thing to remember. Um,
Absolutely. And the number of subscribers too, I don't know where that's going because I know it's still a requirement to get monetized.
yeah,
You need 1,000 subscribers or 500 for the first level, or is it? Yeah. Anyway, and I don't even know if that's going to be the case forever. What I can say is once you are monetized, you're going to understand that, for those of you out there who are trying to get there, that it's really not it's not as exciting as what you thought it was. It's a great milestone to hit, but it's like, okay, so now I'm making $100 a month or 50 or whatever it is. Um, it's not life changing, but
yeah.
my point was the number of subscribers is far less important now when you're making videos as it used to be. It used to be that that's all who would be fed your stuff, your videos. But now, I feel like the relevance of your subscribers, whether you subscribe to a channel or not, is diminishing. Like,
Oh, it
I
is.
will watch somebody's videos and then I'll be presented with more of their videos, even though I'm not subscribed to them. So it
Yeah.
almost doesn't matter if you're subscribed to somebody or not, I think.
I don't think it does, Bob, because I watched a video the other day and I really didn't like the video. I disliked the video so that YouTube wouldn't show me the video anymore. And do you know
Okay,
what happened on the homepage? They showed me another one of their videos because I'd watched one of theirs already.
right.
And that was a video I hadn't commented on. I'd actively disliked it and I didn't subscribe, but yet I was served another one of their videos. So
So I think that's also part of YouTube trying to figure itself out because it's ever changing. its algorithm is it's almost like a living organism. I think they're adding new programming to it. I think there's probably AI allowing it to learn by itself in a way. It's always evolving. And I made a video what was it, last week, about people noticing that their views are down. And then as I'm making that video, I'm thinking, well, if you're noticing your views are down, and if you think everybody else's views are down because you're watching these videos, well, maybe YouTube is noticing you're watching these videos, so they're giving you more of those videos to watch. And now you think everybody's views are down, but the
Yep,
people whose views are up, YouTube doesn't think you want to watch that, so you're not seeing that. And I got
exactly.
plenty of comments from people who said, my views are up. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, funny enough, I watched your video, and at the time, I just released a video that the views were terrible compared to a previous video, and then I thought, well, that's because the views are down on YouTube. Even Rob's talking about it, and then the next video I posted did really well, and I thought, maybe it's just because I'm in a bubble and everyone's talking about it, but it's not actually true. Maybe I just made a bad video.
I think we're all in our own bubbles, really. Like if you think about it, I mean, we're kind of in the same niche, and the people watching here are too. But for the most part, YouTube is different for everybody.
Yeah,
And I'm not going to be able to do the math in my head, but what percentage of YouTube have I watched? 0.001%, maybe.
probably less.
Yeah, there's thousands and thousands. Anyway, right, somebody else is not seeing any videos that I'm seeing, and they're seeing a completely different catalog of videos. So they
Yeah.
have a completely different idea as to what's what's their truth and what's not.
Do you know what? On that comment, on that statement, it's so funny. On one of my previous live streams, we were talking about this bubble, if you like, how we're all in the same bubble in YouTube, and we all kind of know each other. We get the same people in the chat. Yourself, Ty, even Kevin Colby to a certain extent. You'll see the same people that watch their channels, your channel, even my channel now. And I think it might have been Ty that said it. Maybe somewhere in the world, there's another Rob the Maritimer with his own set of people who follow him and have been inspired by him that we've never even seen. And to think that the majority of YouTube isn't even in English, that just blows your mind, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I got hung up on there being another Rob the Maritimer. I don't know what I think about that.
Yeah, can you imagine? But no, it's an interesting concept, and it just goes to show how vast the platform truly is.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, but just circling back to that milestone that everyone strives for, the 1,000 subscribers, and how you mentioned that subscribers really aren't that important anymore. I used to sit there and think, well, yeah, it's easy for you to say, but
Yeah.
not you personally, but people that said that. And then I hit 1,000 subscribers, and I realized that nothing changes,
Yeah.
and there is no milestone that's ever going to feel enough. It's never going to get to the point where you say, yeah, do you know, I'm happy now, I'm satisfied. As
Yeah.
humans, we're always going to want more.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine that. I mean, I've got 2,200 watch hours now, so I'm on the way to monetization. But I can only imagine that once you get there, again, it's another kind of anti-climatic experience. So, what what does drive you just to keep making content if it's not a milestone or a subscriber number? Is there
Yeah.
anything that keeps you going every week in, week out, being so consistent?
Um, I mean, I really enjoy it. I really I enjoy the um, interactions with my viewers, either through live streams like this, or live streams like my own, or the comments, right? Even coaching calls, right? Interacting with people that way. I just
Yeah,
enjoy all that. I enjoy getting the comments, people commenting on my videos. Building a community. I feel like I'm creating something. I'm a part of something, and it's fulfilling. I like it. I enjoy it. In addition to that, it's also a business. I'm growing a business, but I've always had the small business, entrepreneur mindset. I've been in some capacity a small business owner for the last 25 years. My father was a small business owner as well. So I've always kind of had that, I guess, itch or that mindset. But no, the fact that I'm growing a community, that's what keeps me going. In terms of milestones, you hit the nail on the head. Like at first, it's subscriber numbers, right? You want to reach a certain number of subscribers, 100, then it's 500, then oh, monetize at 1,000, great. Oh, but now I need the watch hours, 4,000 watch hours. Okay, now we're going after the watch hours. Let's start doing live streams. That really boosts watch hours. So we want to get to that 4,000. But I'll tell you, once you get to 4,000, I think I blew through it, like 4,000. Then I was at 5,000 a month later, and then there's no looking back. And then you realize watch hours don't matter either, like at all. Like I was tracking them, like I was trying to predict, when am I getting monetized? When am I
Yeah,
hitting 4,000? And
I was doing that today.
yeah, and that's wwhy I created a stats tracker spreadsheet that I got to track that, and I still enter the values, but it's, that doesn't matter. Because now it's okay. The more views I get, the more AdSense revenue I will earn. Views become more important then, if that's what you're after. If you're after the AdSense revenue, um, yeah, the more watch hours there are, like the longer a video is, if it gets watched, then there could be mid-roll ads that you earn money from. But if your video is less than 8 minutes long, it's just the ad at the beginning. Or if, let's say it's 10 minutes long, but most people don't get as far in to be able to even see a mid-roll ad. So we're still talking about the number of views, right? One ad. Uh, so you realize that that's the most important thing. But then the next stage is, okay, well, yeah, I'd love to hit 100,000 subscribers. So that can be a goal. But what does that mean? It means nothing. It means you get a piece of metal or plastic or whatever it is in the mail, right?
Well,
The
you'll
play
find out
button.
soon.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'll
Yeah.
admit that, but that doesn't really matter. So then you start thinking, okay, well, what am I actually doing here? I'm building a community. I'm growing a business. So then you start thinking about revenue numbers and looking for ways to earn revenue outside of AdSense, because AdSense is unreliable, especially like if we've noticed, like I've noticed last month, views are going down. That means AdSense revenue goes down. Well, if AdSense revenue is 90% of my revenue, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
But if it's only 10% or 20%, then it's not a big deal. You can consider it as a bonus. So yeah, what you focus on and what you're, I guess, reaching towards does change over time.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that in motion even as I go through my relatively early stages of my YouTube career, really. Because it is really a career, isn't it? It's the amount of work that we put into a channel. It's comparable to a job. And I like to think of the 0 to 1,000 subscribers as the kind of the unpaid internship, just to see if you're
Yeah.
going to make it, and then you get there, and then you never stop learning, really, do you? I know you mentioned the community, and for me that has been, well, I think it's the only thing that's kept me going when times were really bad. Or when
Yeah.
I say times were bad, I mean relatively speaking, because it's a YouTube channel. I'm not driving an ambulance here.
Yeah.
Um, but the community that I stumbled upon was Ty Myers' school community.
Yep.
And that's been a real game changer for me, especially early on, just having access to like-minded creators, people that get it, people that aren't my wife, people that actually understand what it's like to make videos and put them on the internet.
Yeah.
You've got your own community, haven't you?
Yep.
At what stage did you think that would be a good idea? And could you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. So that was a little over a year ago. It was August. It was around a month and a half after I had that first viral video. So yeah, it's all part of. See, my plan was, I mean, there's so many different things you can do to turn a YouTube channel into a business besides the AdSense thing. You can make courses, you can offer coaching, you can offer consulting, you can offer membership, right? But you have to have something in there of value that people will want to subscribe. So there's, or you can get into affiliate sales or whatever. There's so many different things you can do. For me, because my background was in creating tutorial videos for other companies, that's what I was freelancing doing. Uh, I've done this for other companies, so why not? I can create a course. I make videos like that all the time. So that was always my thing. Like, if I can grow an audience, there's going to be a small percentage of the people in that audience who might be interested in learning about what I'm doing, so I can create videos about that. So that was always my thing: make a course. Well, then if you make a course, wouldn't it be great if you had a place for everybody who took that course to kind of meet and chat, and not necessarily to me, but they could ask me questions, and if I can, I'll answer. But just to interact with each other as they're learning, going through the course and learning how to do whatever it is. So that was always my thing, the course. The coaching was not something that was on my radar at all until I had a chat with Alexa Serenoya.
Yeah.
And that would have been last November, I think. She was the first person that I had on my podcast and interviewed her. And yeah, she kind of said, Rob, why are you not offering coaching? Like her background is in teaching, right? Which was not mine. But yeah, no, I started to offer that. And that honestly is my favorite part now, like more so than building the courses,
Yeah.
which anyway, so I forget what the question was, but that was kind of, uh, I think you were asking me when did I start that? So yeah, it was about a year ago that I created that community to support the courses that I was making initially. Um, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that school community that you have, and ones that other ones like Ties, they are an absolute lifeline for people when they're first starting out, or even as they go through their journey. But the coaching as well. I mean, I've started to offer coaching, and
Yeah.
I've started my coaching program now. Very early days, and I'm obviously I'm helping people that are a few steps behind me.
Hmm.
But it already it's a lot of work. It's not something to be taken on lightly. And also it's a lot of time.
Yep.
How do you find the time to manage a thriving school community, a YouTube channel, a coaching business, creation of courses, and everything else that you have to do? It must be a really full-time job, basically.
Yeah, yeah, it is. First of all, so I don't have a school community. I have a Kajabi community. I use
Okay,
Kajabi. Um,
apologies.
oh no, that's fine. That's fine. Not to say I'm going to be with Kajabi forever. Who knows? I'm not in love with their community and the way it works, and I know people who use School really love School. So, like, who knows? Those are the types of things that if you ever morph to one, that's probably a relatively easy thing to do. But so yeah, so I'm sorry, what was the question?
Well, how do you find the time to
Oh,
fit
time. Yeah,
everything
yeah.
in? Yeah.
So yeah, it is a full-time job. I mean, I probably put in close to 60 hours a week, whereas a normal job week would be what, 35 to 40 hours. Um, but I don't really consider it work. Like it's what I do. It's what I do in the day. If I want to go for a kayak to the island and make a video out there, that's not work to me. That's fine. Or go for a walk on the trail and I might as well talk to my camera while I'm walking. That's not really work to me either. I mean, yeah, I spent a lot of time in the computer editing, and I guess you could call that work, but it's just what I've always done, and I don't mind it. I like it. How do I find the time? I don't know. It's just there. It would be harder. Like, so I don't have a full-time, like I don't have another job. So that would make it hard. And I get that. There's a lot of people who have other jobs that want to start this. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I know that's hard. And to find the time, you really have to enjoy it. That's the bottom line. You have to enjoy it. And if you do, then you will find the time, whether it mean like when I first ventured out on my own, I'm an engineer is what I was before I was an entrepreneur. But when I started in the entrepreneurial world, I was making websites and selling web hosting is what I did 25 years ago. But I did that after hours. Like I would do it in the morning, like at 5 a.m. And I had to go to work at 7. So I'd work 2 hours in the morning or at night or on the weekends. And that's hard when you have young kids. Like my kids now are 26 and 23. So, they don't need me all the time anymore. So that makes it easy. So I guess what I'm saying is back when I had less time, I still managed to get things off the ground just because I was really interested in it. And I wanted to do, I didn't want to work for somebody else. I wanted to do my own thing. so I made it work. But yeah, you can only do what you can do, and you got to watch out for the burnout and take breaks when you think you need to, and only do what you can. Like YouTube's not going anywhere. If you don't have 60 hours a week to put into it, or 40, or even 20, just put into it what you can. Like it's not a race. You don't need to pump out 5 videos a week, or even
Yeah.
2, or you know what I mean? Just do what you can. And
I
then
learned that the hard way, Rob. I really did. And now I dedicate time for YouTube. I like to say now that I put boundaries on it.
okay.
I control YouTube because to start with, it was very much a case of, oh, I need to put out 3 videos a week, and I'd be every evening, every weekend, flat out with YouTube, and it's not sustainable. And I got to the
Yeah.
point where my head physically hurt when I
Yeah.
went to bed every night, and I started to have enough. So now I just had to take a step back and say to myself, if I bring out a video every 10 days, that's okay.
Yeah.
It when it starts to take over your life and you start to obsess and you're spending every waking hour on the studio app, you know, or obsessing about your next video, that's when it stops being fun. So since I
Yeah.
took a step back and put boundaries, put the brakes on YouTube a little bit, it's ironically when my channel started to do really well. And I don't think
Okay.
that that's a coincidence at all.
Yeah. No, I think you're 100% right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but even having said that, I'm still probably spending 20 hours a week on it, which is sustainable for me. But a lot of people that wouldn't be. So there's some really interesting insights there, Rob. I've got a few questions in the audience that I'd like to address, and
Yeah.
I'd like
Sure.
to thank everyone for being so patient with me while I talk to Rob this evening. But if you do have any questions for myself or for Rob, please do put them in the comments section. I'm sure there's something that you'd like to ask Rob while he's here tonight. I'm going to go up to the top. I know that I've missed a few. Ricky, Life with Ricky. I know that's not actually his real name, and I forget his real name. Apologies. He's got a question. And I'm going to pose these questions to you, Rob, because you're somebody that's been in the game a lot longer than I have, and I hope that's okay with you.
Oh, sure.
So he's asking, how long does it take YouTube to find your audience for channels like his that do different topics for each video? Could it take years?
Yeah. It could. It could.
I laugh
Uh,
then.
yeah. Different topics for every video. Yeah. I guess you have to ask yourself, uh, who are you making videos for? If it's a different topic every time, that to me, I read that as it could potentially be a different audience that's interested in each individual video, in which case YouTube is probably going to have a really hard time trying to identify who to show your next video to when you come out with a new video. You know what I mean? You're going to confuse the algorithm. It's kind of the way I look at that, unless there's something that kind of ties all your videos together, whether it's your personality. I don't know, maybe it's a comedic thing, maybe it's entertaining as opposed to how to, you know what I
That's
mean?
what he does. He does a comedy.
He does comedy.
It's
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay. Well, then that could be different. So that could be the unifying thing, the constant across all his videos. Uh, yeah, no, I would think for like I'm thinking stand-up comedian, is that?
So he does like skits where he plays a little kid called Ricky, which you can see in his profile picture there.
Yeah.
And then he also plays the dad, and he does like back and forth between the kid and the dad with like basically stupid questions that the kid asks, and he does a lot of videos like that. But I know that each video would have a different topic potentially, and I guess that's where the confusion might come for the algorithm, because they don't know that it's supposed to be funny. They just see a topic and they know what words are being spoken.
Right.
So I guess that's where the question's coming from. But I mean, for
Yeah.
what it's worth, I think he's doing okay. He's got like 3,000 subscribers, so
Yeah.
something's working.
Yeah, so I then see the audience as being people who enjoy that type of comedy, right?
Yeah,
Comedy is one of those things where some people like certain comedians and some people don't. But that's the same with all of us with the videos we make. Some people are going to like our videos, some people won't. And over time, you will naturally be shown to the people who do like it. And that would be the same with Life with Ricky. I would think that the people who like his comedy will naturally keep coming back as long as he keeps that audience in mind, the people who like that type of humor. I suppose if he changed the type of humor in his skits, that might be that could be where he runs into trouble. But
Yeah.
if the type of humor is always the same kind, and if it's always, a little boy I'm almost getting Dennis the Menace vibes, something like that. Um,
Yeah, I guess so.
yeah,
I guess
so
so.
if you think about that, if you think about a comic strip, back in the day when we used to read newspapers, we all probably had our favorite comic strips, or I did, that I would read, right? And I'd always go, "Oh, there's my favorite one. I want to read that one again." So same kind of thing. If it's always the same kind of style, he will naturally grow an audience. As for how long it takes, um, yeah, you don't really know. You just have to keep showing up.
Yeah, I left my crystal ball in the other room,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah.
I think Rob did as well, but I think, yeah, that's a great answer there. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the topic that remains the same, but the style of humor or the style of video that you're making, or essentially serving the same audience time and time again. That's the most important thing. If I'm getting what you're saying there, Rob.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think of comedians. There's one comedian I really like. It's Nate Bargatze. He's a very clean comedian. He doesn't swear at all, and he's doing very well. There are other comedians who swear a lot. Some people like that, and some people don't. You know what I mean? So, for example, if Life with Ricky is always cussing in his videos, then if he stopped, that might not be as interesting to the people who initially were watching him. Or if he
Yeah.
starts and he didn't usually cuss, you know what I mean? That type of thing.
It's almost the C word, isn't it? Consistency, which is something we don't like to talk about too often.
You scared me there when you said the C word. What?
Yeah, no, I did that deliberately. Thanks, Rob. Steve's asked a question, and this is something that I've battled with, especially in the earlier days. I say early days; it's only been nearly half a year, but script or no script. And Steve said he finds his unscripted videos get more engagement and views, but then he waffles, and the retention isn't as good. So it's kind of like a balancing act, isn't it, between being, I guess, what he's trying to say here is being really authentic and trying to appeal to people's emotions with his unscripted videos versus having a very curated experience for the viewer.
Yeah.
Um, so what obviously do you script your videos, Rob?
No, I don't at all. And but this isn't the only way to do it. You could script it. I mean, the right answer is whatever works for you. But yeah, I can see. Yeah, if you unscript and you do waffle a lot, that's what I do. I do that. I say and ah a lot. I pause, but then again, we come right back to the people I will end up getting back to my videos and subscribing are the people that are okay with, not only okay with that, but prefer that. Uh, I think a lot of my audience is older, and typically older people, I don't want to put everybody in a box, but I feel like they like it when people talk a little bit slower. Like maybe somebody in their 20s is okay with somebody, talking really, really fast and he's hitting you with all these points. Whereas somebody who's older may not want to listen to that. And I naturally don't talk that fast, or I don't feel like I do. And, and I waffle, right? So, I don't know. My vote is no script, Steve. That's my vote, even if it means you lose some people in retention. Over time, if you stick with that style, I feel like the more people who are, more and more people start watching your videos, the new people that you bring on will be people who do like that style, and your retention may start to go back up.
Yeah, and also you're going to make life a lot easier for yourself, Steve, because if you don't script your videos, you don't cut out all the pauses, your editing time is going to be cut in half or less. You're going to be able to bring out more content each week.
Yeah.
And then, as Rob said, more and more people are going to find your channel that do like that style. And over time, your retention is going to increase anyway. Now, having said that, I wish I could take that advice myself. I've tried the unscripted videos. I've got a couple on my channel that did okay,
Yeah.
but they were probably like the fourth or fifth time I tried to make that video on that day. It's an incredibly difficult thing to do, as we've spoken about earlier. So hats off to you, Rob, for managing that style week in, week out. It must take a lot of practice to get there. That's all I'll say.
Well, all of my practice is documented because I didn't make any videos that I did not upload to YouTube. So you
Right.
can go right back to my July 5th video of 2024, and every video after that was practice for where I'm at today. Like it's all, even that video, all like I don't believe maybe once, but for the most part, no, I've not made videos where I thought, you know what, let's just call this a practice session, I'm just going to throw this one in the bin. I've never done that.
Yeah. That's you're a braver man than I am, because there's a lot of stuff that I've taken down. But again, that's one of the big lessons I'm taking from this is just keeping my eyes moving or looking ahead. You know, not worrying too much about what's been, and just focusing on what's to come.
Yeah.
No, that's a great question there, Steve. Thanks very much for that. I'm just going to scroll back down through the comments here, and just picking out questions specifically. So if you've got any questions, please do put them in the comments. Doesn't look like we've got many tonight, which is actually a good sign, because it means that the people have been watching and listening to us talking and the conversation that we've been having, which you know, I think that can only be a good thing, and people
Yeah.
obviously listening intently. I find oftentimes there's a lot of chat going on between people in the comment section, which,
Yes.
you know, is
And
is a
that's
is a
great. I
great
love
thing
that.
as well. But we have a question here. We have a couple of questions actually. Thank you very much. So Tracy's asked, um,
Oh,
okay,
hey,
so if
Tracy.
we take if we take videos down, do we lose the watch hours? So the answer is, if you delete the video, yes, you do. If that's right, Rob, isn't it? But if you unlist the video, the watch hours for your channel will remain in place. However, your valid watch hours towards monetization goals won't remain until you make that video public again. Is that right, Rob?
Uh, I think that's right. It's definitely right that if you delete a video or even privatize it, private your video, then yeah, you lose those watch hours. You don't lose subscribers because they, however they subscribe, they're still subscribed. They would have to physically unsubscribe for, to leave your channel.
Right.
But in terms of if you unlist the videos, does it count towards monetization? I'm not 100% sure about that. Um,
It doesn't, because I recently I unlisted a few videos that I thought I wasn't really happy with, and I
yeah,
noticed that, because as you know, I'm trying to get monetized. I'm on the road, and
yeah,
I'm obviously keeping a tally of how close I am, and I unlisted a whole bunch of videos, and I suddenly saw that my valid hours towards monetization had decreased by quite a
okay,
few hundred.
yeah.
And it turns out that when you unlist a video, they no longer count towards that running total, even though they still show as watch hours on your channel total. Um, so
I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. But yeah, that's it's not something I would even really concern myself too much about. Like if you're trying, I think you said you're at 2,200 watch hours, and
yeah,
if you lose a couple hundred watch hours because you deleted or unlisted some videos that maybe don't fit your narrative anymore, I think that's probably still a smart move. You'll make up those 200 watch hours so fast. Like if it
yeah,
took you 2 months to get them on a year ago, you can make them up in a week probably.
yeah. That's a good point. I think the reason I took the videos down was that I just, when you look back at your old work, I know that you haven't taken any of your videos down, Rob, but when you look at your old work and you think, oh, if one of my new subscribers sees that, they're going to unsubscribe. I don't know
No,
if
I
you've
don't
ever
ever
thought
think
that.
that. I don't ever think that. I've learned to not really care what people who don't like my videos think. Right?
Yeah,
So, I don't care what they like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect me, it doesn't affect them, right? If you don't like my videos, you don't subscribe, you never watch my videos again, we're both happy. Like, it's all good. Does it right? So, I don't and I f I feel like I'm pretty good at laughing at myself. I used to say, I don't say it that much anymore, but I used to say that if I can laugh at my own videos first, then when somebody else laughs at it, we're laughing together. I'm not offended. It's all good. So, if you can kind of teach yourself to think that way and just let it roll off your back like water off a duck's back, or however that saying goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, because it doesn't matter.
I'm definitely taking that from this conversation. 100%. I've definitely learned something new from you today. We've got another question here from Mike. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Uh, do you, is this one of your subscribers, Rob? It's the first time I've
I
met
know
Mike.
Mike. Yep. Yeah. I've seen him in my live streams. Absolutely.
Awesome. So he's asking if you know how hype works towards our videos. I'm not sure if this is something you've covered already. I think it might be, but
Yeah.
I'm certainly interested.
I've talked about it in my live streams, but I've not made a video about it. I am going to. But here's what I know. Hype is like it's almost like a super like. Okay, so when you watch a video, you can click the like button, the thumbs up button. Well, now some of you, and on some videos, you can click a hype button. I've actually never personally seen it myself, and I don't know if that's because I'm in Canada and it's not here yet, or I don't know. But I know people have hyped my videos because they've told me, and in my YouTube studio, I can see there's a little section there that says you've got this many hypes, you've earned this many hype points.
Yeah.
So but what I know about the way it works is you can hype up to 3 times a week, and that's it. So use them sparingly. So therefore, it's almost considered like a super like. It's only something you really, really like because you can only do it 3 times a week, right? Well, you hit that like. It's only available to videos that belong to channels that have between 500 and 500,000 subscribers. So that's what YouTube considers small YouTube channels. And what else? The other thing is, yeah. So the number of points you get, I think that is related to how large of a channel is of the person who hyped your video. So you may get more hype points from a hype coming from somebody who's got 100,000 subscribers versus somebody who has 10. So there's that. Now, how do all these points work? How many points do you get for however you want to measure it? No idea. And YouTube hasn't told us. All we know is we can see, okay, I've got 30 hypes on this video and 10,000 hype points. I don't know what it means. Does 10,000 hype points, does 30 hypes equal 3,000 likes? Maybe. I don't know. All we know is it's now another metric that YouTube has in their ever evolving attempt to identify what is a good video, right? They just want to know, is this a good video? So how can people give us feedback? They can like it, they can comment, they can share it. Now they can hype it. They can rewatch it. I suppose that would be right. That would be another engagement metric. So it's just another metric that now goes into YouTube's algorithm. What they do with that, we don't really know.
Yeah, no, that's a good explanation. It's just another example of how YouTube's a very complex beast, isn't it, Rob?
Yeah,
You know,
that
it's
might be all we ever know about hype.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. So we've got time for a couple more questions, and then I've got one or two more for Rob of my own. So I'm just going to move on over to the next question in from the audience here, and it's from Byte and Beyond. Are timestamps in videos overrated? I mean, I don't know about you, Rob, but I find it certainly gives people the option to skip through, which isn't always a good thing. And if you do put timestamps, you often have to be tactical with them in a way that you don't just give the answer to the question that you've posed in the video title. Because if it's
Yeah.
5 ways to do something and you list them in order, people might just look at the timestamps and go, oh, that's the answer, and I'm off.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I've kind of wavered on this over the years. I used to be religious in putting timestamps in,
Yeah.
especially for my how-to videos, and especially for longer ones.
Hmm.
Excuse me. But I actually haven't put timestamps in my videos in probably over a year now. It's not something I spend a lot of time thinking about. Because yeah, like what you said, if you give people, well-defined chapters, you give them the opportunity to skip chapters. And is that really a good thing or not? I mean, that's what I do. If I see chapters and I'm trying to learn something, and if they've chaptered it, then I may bounce around.
Yeah.
And I guess to a certain extent, it depends on the type of videos you make. Maybe with how-to videos, there's some benefit to including that. But if you're giving a monologue, right, or vlogging, or just kind of talking for 20 minutes, I don't necessarily see the value in doing that. You want to try to engage people all the way through.
Yeah,
But that's
exactly.
just
And
me.
also,
Again, it's something that you can test.
yeah, definitely give it a go. But for me, I've found that I've noticed on the spike on the retention that people, it's just a way for people to skip the intro.
Yeah.
You know, and I've seen some bigger channels, and it's something that I've been playing with. Instead of calling it intro, they'll call it something like why it matters.
Yes.
So people are more likely to stick around. But I hope that's answered the question.
Or just leave your intro like 10 seconds long, and then the second half of your intro, give it a chapter name.
Yeah, absolutely. He's Mike said that he can hype other channels, but his son tried to hype one of his videos, but he can't. Mike, I think that might be due to the fact that there's a subscriber restriction on hypes. I'm not sure what that is. It might be something I look up now.
Yeah, and it might. I mean, maybe he's hyped 3 already this week, or maybe his channel's not large enough to have that option. Again, I've never had that option. It might be where you are geographically too. I've never had that option, and part of me is wondering if it's because I'm in Canada, but I don't know if that's it or not.
Okay. Well, in order, apparently, this is according to Copilot, so it isn't YouTube itself, but usually it's fairly accurate. In order to be eligible for the hype feature, you need to have between 500 and 500,000 subscribers,
Yeah,
and as Rob said, be located in one of the supported countries, which apparently includes the UK, US, Canada, and Australia. So
yeah,
maybe that's wrong. I don't know. But obviously, I've been able to hype your videos, Rob, and you're in Canada, so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
odd that you haven't seen it yourself.
yeah. I even went looking for it. It's not. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
No, there's a lot that we don't know,
That's
but no,
absolutely.
yeah, it's a really good question though, Mike. Thank you. Yeah. So, Rob, I've got a question for you now.
Yeah,
If you were to start YouTube again, would you do anything differently, knowing what you know now, or would you still, if you starting again, you wanted to build your channel, you wanted to build your audience, how would you do that? Because there's a potentially your videos now wouldn't work if you were a new channel without having that subscriber count to back up what you're talking about.
yeah.
What would you do differently?
Um, Honestly, I don't know if I would do much differently because it was a journey, and it still is a journey. I don't regret that it took me 3.5 years to start talking to the camera. I suppose I could have forced myself to do that earlier, but what I was doing in the earlier days, I was learning how to edit. I was learning how to upload. I was learning how to use a teleprompter and all these things. So they were all good lessons to learn, and we all learn at different rates too, and we all start out with different skill sets. So some people out there might have a lot less to learn than I did. Some people might have more to learn. So everybody's journey is different. I can only really give, what was that? Oh. My taped bullet points are falling off my tripod. I didn't know what that was. um as I was saying now, yeah, so equipment is a big one though. Like I've spent a lot of money on equipment that I don't use. So, uh, but I don't know how I would have done it differently because I learned a lot by getting the equipment and the videos I watched. Um, I guess advice I have is you probably don't need near as much equipment as you think you do. Uh, you know, if I were to do it again, I would not probably buy this camera that I'm using right here. I would just film on my phone
Really?
because it's just fine. I would still probably get the DJI mic that I have, but I wouldn't have bought this one that I have up here, the shotgun mic. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, there are things like that. I don't know if that answers your question, but
No, it absolutely does. It's always great to get wisdom from someone like yourself. And you know, it's just been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today. I haven't got any more questions for you, and it's always difficult to end a live stream because you could go on forever, but I usually leave it around the 75-minute mark, and that's what I'm going to do tonight. I appreciate you for being here and giving up a large part of your afternoon, and I appreciate every single person in the audience as well for taking their time to watch this interview and for posing their questions. So as always, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next week where I'll be back live answering your YouTube questions. And Rob, thank you so much for being here with me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
This has been awesome, Jay. Thank you very much. I really appreciate this. You're doing awesome things over there. I would keep doing. I love that video of yours. I think the one you talked about where it kind of blew up a little bit. Was that the one where you were wearing the white trench coat?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
I was
I think
playing the part of YouTube Studio.
yes, yes. No, I love that. I thought that was brilliant. And yeah, like try sprinkling in something like that every so often to keep people remembering what that's all about. And you might find like maybe not every video, but right, like every seventh or eighth video could be something like that. I think that could be a winner for you.
Yeah, I think so. I'm definitely going to lean into that. It was a lot of fun to make that video, and I can see why it did well. Everyone that watches it really enjoys it. So I'm glad that you liked it as well. I really
I did.
appreciated that
Yes.
comment you left on there.
No, thank you very much. This has been
No
fun.
problem at all. Great. Thanks, Rob. See you later, and bye, everyone.
See you guys.